Today on TQA Weekly, I talk about the image scanner, how it works, what it is, what it does, and what will eventually happen to it. My name is Steve Smith, this is TQA Weekly, and if ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions, and or stories, you can always email me at ask@tqaweekly.com, go to my website, tqaweekly.com, and either use the contact form or comment on each specific episode, this one being at tqaweekly.com/se4ep21, or you can always use the comments box down below. This episode of TQA Weekly is brought to you by ProXPN. ProXPN is a virtual private network that allows you to use the internet the way it should be, anonymously and without oversight. For 20% off your new account, go to proxpn.com/podcast and use the coupon code TQAWEE. Today's topic is the image scanner, and before we talk about the modern scanner, let's reflect on where it came from. So around the year 1860, or around that time, we had telephotography and fax input machines. For those who don't know what that is, I have a link in the show notes, tqaweekly.com/se4ep21, about the history of the machine. But basically, this was sending information over the wire. At that time, we were still pretty much using Morse code, and that's a little bit how we were sending pictures over the wire too. You were able to recognize the image, but it wasn't as pristine as we're capable of doing today. Today's modern scanners, though, use 3 rows of CCD arrays. A CCD is a charged coupled device. It uses 3 different sets of filters, red, green, and blue. Most scanners have their own proprietary algorithms to rebuild the picture. I'll explain to you why by actually showing you what a scanner looks like for those who have never seen it, although I'm pretty sure most of you have. And they all have lights that are normally xenon, LED, or cold cathode fluorescence, like in my computer box actually. And this allows for some very nifty stuff that we'll get into right after I show you what a scanner is, for those obviously who don't know what it is, because it is fairly rare to see scanners unless you actually go out and get one. So this is a scanner, flatbed, be more specific because you can get different types. The one behind me in that printer is also flatbed, but it's a flatbed with a printer. So this is your normal flatbed, also capable of scanning negatives. I'll get into that. But before, let's just pull on this so that you can see. Maybe, yeah, that reflected surface is the backlight for the negatives. I'll get into that after. So that is the glass pane that we normally put the pictures on, normally referred to as the platen. You got a rail here and a loop track gear, basically that pulls on what would be the mirror and light assembly that allows for the arm to go and light up the document. The mirror that's used sends it to a different mirror that's underneath this part right here that actually reflects it into the 3 arrays of charge coupled devices, the CCDs. That allows it to be scanned. It then leaves the back of the scanner and goes to the computer where a proprietary algorithm rebuilds the picture as best as possible. Now, to understand, this is a very simple way of building a machine, but it's virtually the only way that you can efficiently scan something for a few reasons. So let's understand why this device is still relevant today and how it works. So basically, the only thing that gives it a run for its money is the digital camera. The digital camera is portable. The scanner isn't. You saw me put it on my arm. It's not heavy, it's bulky, and that's what actually counts here. A cell phone is not bulky. The cameras we have are on our cell phones. They're always with us. They're portable. They're on every single mobile device that we have, and if you don't have a camera on it, it's probably of relative age. Also, it's always on us, which means that it's actually easier for us to use our digital camera instead of a scanner. Scanner, we can't carry it all around. It needs a power source, it needs a computer in most cases, and that's because it needs a specific algorithm to rebuild the pictures. Although digital cameras can actually return with reflections, they can be dull, lack contrast, be way too bright because most people don't know what a flash is for, or be way too dark because for the same reason, people don't know what a flash is actually for. Most high quality printouts, most people don't actually think about this. When you take a picture, it creates a reflection because the picture is not dull. It can reflect light right back into the lens of your camera. Whereas this does not occur with scanners. Scanners can save to lossy and lossless formats. Digital cameras that we have in our pockets save to JPEG, which is lossy, which means we lose quality in the picture. Scanners have an algorithm that reproduces a virtually near identical quality of image than the one we're scanning, as long as you respect the PPI or DPI of the picture. Scanning at a too high DPI, depending on the medium you're scanning, may be worthless and pointless, but most cameras have a fixed megapixel size, which is its own DPI, and it too can actually cause problems because unlike the scanner, we don't change this on the fly. Scanner, you can change it every time you scan. And on top of that, scanners will always come out in focus. Digital cameras don't necessarily come in focus. They're considered pretty cheap because they also have very small sensor arrays on them as opposed to the large CCD arrays that are actually in scanners. So they often return a better image than the digital camera counterpart. So we understand what it is. We understand why it's useful to us. What do I think is going to happen to it? Will the scanner ever become irrelevant? And the answer is yes. So that little light I show you at the beginning is for negatives. Most documents that you scan with scanners are opaque. You shine a bright on them. They reflect back, go through the mirror, all the way back into the other mirror, into the charge coupled device arrays. And depending on where it was in the scan, its distance and the type of light, the mathematical equation they use reproduces the image. You can't scan something that's transparent, like film. So you have to use a light like that. So we have those. Those, for that reason, makes it useful. Unfortunately, the age of negatives is pretty much dead. I, having studied in that specific field, don't have any use for negatives and negative scanners anymore since all cameras have pretty much gone to digital as opposed to negatives. The negative has been replaced, in essence, by a CCD, basically another charge coupled device, your sensor, your image sensor on your digital camera. So as opposed to taking a picture with a negative, developing it, printing it out, scanning it into your computer, modifying it, and downloading it to your phone, you take a picture with your phone, and that's it. Now, taking a picture of a picture is quite useless too. However, most pictures are now digital, so we always have access to the digital original. This means we don't need a scanner for most photos that we take during vacations and other types of events. You take the files, send them over to Facebook, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, or anything else, and everybody has access to the same quality picture you have unless you change the file from something else than the original. And on top of all this, we will have smaller and smaller, better and better cameras and phones, and in some cases, we won't even need to have sensors that are as big or they will be made better. And in some cases, we have slightly bigger sensors and better designed cameras that actually come out better. With time, we'll have better algorithms, better software in them, and we'll come out with cleaner, better lit pictures that are more in focus, have better contrast, won't be as dull, and won't be too bright or too dark. Until we get to that point, we're still going to have all these cameras and all these negatives, all these scanners and everything, but we're almost there, and we're already perfectly capable of taking pretty good shots in normal lighting situations. So the scanner will be made irrelevant, it will be made into a novelty. People like me that still have negatives lying around from old projects may still keep their scanners so that we can actually check out our old work and everything, since the negative still produces a better picture than most digital cameras that we have in our pockets. But there will come a time where that will no longer be true, and therefore it will become rare, it will become a novelty, and it will be made irrelevant like the floppy drive. So this episode is actually brought to you by ProXPN. They help me make this show. They help me give you the topics that you like to hear about. And if it's one thing I know, it's not just scanners that scan your content. Your ISPs also scan your stuff. Now more than ever, your online freedom and privacy are under threat. Governments and ISPs want to control what you can or cannot see while keeping a detailed record of everything you do. Don't be fooled. ISPs do deep packet inspection. They know everything you are doing, everywhere you are connecting to, all the time. You've got no choice in the matter. You're connecting through them. Plus, that free Wi-Fi at the coffee house or airport terminal is seriously putting you at risk because your passwords and sensitive data can be intercepted more easily than you might think. ProXPN is a global VPN, virtual private network that works with almost any internet connection, creates a secure, encrypted tunnel to which all your online data passes back and forth. Any online application can work with ProXPN, including your web browser, email, file sharing, and instant messaging programs. ProXPN keeps everything you do online hidden from prying eyes, including your ISP. They only know that you're connecting to them, and they don't know anything else that you're doing because everything is encrypted, disguising your physical location and giving you unfettered access to any website or online service no matter where you live or travel to. So this will be good for those who want to see the Olympics that don't have access to the Olympics for some reason in your area. Has complete online privacy with a 2048-bit encryption key and 512-bit encryption tunnel. Works with OpenVPN and PPTP. You get to choose. Protects yourself against the ISP 6 strikes rule. By the way, you can plug that into PPTP on your router to bypass the ISP's everything. You know what? That will basically protect you from the 6 strikes rule doing it that way. You get to bypass internet filtering, blocked websites, geographical restrictions for internet content and online video with worldwide servers available in the US, UK, Asia, and more. ProXPN's software for Windows and Mac offers advanced controls, allowing you to select the programs and ports you want to anonymously route through ProXPN servers. So if you're a gamer like me, you can have everything but your video games going over ProXPN, and it also works with iOS and Android devices using your data plan or your public or corporate private home Wi-Fi, with complete and total privacy on the go. No app required, although if you do go to a website, they do have iOS and Android applications that are absolutely great and easy to use. They have 24/7 customer support, which is absolutely amazing. All you need to do is to go to proxpn.com/podcast for more information and to sign up. Now, TQA Weekly watchers and listeners can also get a free 30-day risk-free trial. Remember to visit proxpn.com/podcast and sign up with the coupon code TQAWEE. Now, they do have a free version of this application, but for some of you that actually want to download Linux distributions or videos of family over torrents and whatever, you're going to want the premium version of this. ProXPN premium accounts are normally $9.95 a month, $74.95 for the entire year. So already there you're saving a little bit. But I have a special offer for you. Use my coupon code TQAWEE, all caps, and receive 20% off the entire lifetime of your account. Not 1 month, not 1 year, for the entire lifetime of your account. Thank you for watching, listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and if ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions, and or stories, ask at tqaweekly.com is my email, tqaweekly.com is my website, and you can always leave a comments down below.